Hello, welcome back. This is going to be the last video and it's going to be about the full project working and I'm going to show you a video about it. But first, I want to thank you all for coming with me on the journey about building this project, and maybe you guys can build it too. Okay, here we have the program that's going to be running the bubble sort. So first we're going to run a bubble instruction to clear the pipeline and set everything to 0. Then we're going to have two conventions. The first convention is that x1 is the return address and x2 is the stack pointer. Then we're going to have two main functions, the init and sort function. And these functions have the same parameters. The first parameter is that the array address is going to be an x3, and the second parameter is that the number of elements in the array, which is 7, is going to be an x4. So here we have the init function. So after those two parameters, it's going to jump to line 21 where init is called in this loop. And this loop is going to be storing the numbers in reverse order. So first it checks if x4 is equal to 0, and then it continues the loop. So then it runs a store word, and then it adds 1 to x3 and subtracts 1 from x4. So it's going to start 7, 0. It's going to have the value 7 and 0 in the 0 slot in memory. And then it's going to go 6, 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, all the way down to 7, 0, or 6, 0. And then after the loop is finished, it's going to jump back up to line 12 to where the sort function is, the parameters for the sort function are going to be initialized. And these parameters are the same, so then it continues down and jumps to the actual sorting process on line 32. So in the sorting process, there's going to be an outer loop counter and an inner loop counter. The outer loop counter is going to be an x3, and the inner loop counter is an x4. And I'm not going to really go into detail about the outer loop and inner loop because it's pretty straightforward and you can always read on it over here, which has all the information. But the interesting part about this is the swap, which is from lines 52 to 57. And we need a swap because we're doing a bubble sort, and in a bubble sort, you swap the two values if the first value is greater than the second. So in here, we load the first value, the first element into x1, and then we move to the next element and load that into x5. And we check if x1 is greater than x5, and if it is, then we swap the two elements down here. And if it's not equal, if it's less than x5, then we just continue the sorting program. And we're going to run the sorting program till it's done. And then once it's done, it's going to jump all the way back up to line 17, which is the line that calls the display function. So it's going to call the display function and jump all the way down to line 68. And the display is going to put elements 0 to 6 from the array into these registers 1 through 7. And if the program works, then x1 through x7 will hopefully have the values 1 through 7 in sorted order. Talking about how, since some random say, I'm going to reset it and then start the clock. Now it's running. Stuff on the left and middle panels are what's actually doing all the processing and sorting, and the right has all the values that it's sorting, other registers. And the reason one of the registers isn't doing anything, maybe because it's not being used right now, something like that. And it's done. I'll stop it.
Yeah.
And then this is what the finished product looks like. It's all sorted from register 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And yeah. It's the final product of the bubble sort.
Yeah.